What do you feel about the comeback of sea shanties after 3 centuries? Ever been to the east coast of Canada? They never went away. I've been a fan of folk music and sea shanties for most of my life. It feels weird having people agree with me that they're fun to listen to and not thinking that I'm weird for liking them. Also, there are other shanties besides Wellerman and Drunken Sailor. Personally, my favorite is Roll the Old Chariot Along. Go out there, explore YouTube a bit, and see what you can find. I live in Cornwall. Sea shanties never went away. 3 centuries? Someone's never been to Halifax. Oh, the year was 1778. Apostrophe. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. Yes, I'm a pirate. 200 years too late. The cannons don't thunder. There's nothing to plunder. I'm an over 40 victim of fate. Arriving too late. Arriving too late. Jimmy Buffett takes a lot of crap from those who've really only heard his novelty hits. But the dude is a legit songwriter. His early stuff is fantastic. People cold just been listening to the Decemberists this whole time. Sea shanties are great. The worst thing about this revival happening now is that the true magic of songs like that comes when you sing them with other people, which just isn't possible to do properly during a pandemic. I think that's the point of it, though. Sea shanties were for when you were stuck on a ship and would see nobody but your shipmates. It helped them stay sane when they couldn't leave the ship. Now, though, we are stuck inside and see nobody but our housemates and the people we sing with on TikTok. 3 centuries too late. Come visit the east coast of Canada, especially Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. Sea shanties are very much alive and well here, and always have been. Newfoundland sea shanties never really died with a mix of Irish culture, and you got a hot spot. They're always a band down Shamrock City. I've been crew on 2 different tall ships. Been singing shanties for years. Sang them to my kids when they were babies, and now my daughter has her master's ticket. Ship's captain. Oh, the year was 1778. In 1846 on March the 15th day we hoisted our sails to the top of the mast and for Greenland sailed away. I've been listening to Stan Rogers for 24 years, so it's kind of a hipster moment for me. I feel irrationally superior about my a priori cultural genius. Me too. I grew up with the Clancy Brothers and similar Irish music, which has a ton of sea shanty overlap. I'm annoyed by the fact that soon they'll go out of style, and listening to that kind of music will no longer be odd and very unusual, but instead will seem like clinging to a dead recent trend. Still waiting for the grand return of filthy rugby songs. If you've ever heard 22 inebriated lads belt out the boys who work at the Tampax factory, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Sea shanties help us to bond with each other. The rhythm, refrains, fun lyrics, crescendos and decrescendos, diminuendos, encourage listeners to join in and motivate group participation. Man, they never left. I dig them. There's a movie called Fisherman's Friend, loosely based about the real sea shanty group, whom are actual fishermen. It's an okay film, but it was interesting enough to keep me engaged. Eater. I watched the movie a few months ago, I think on Prime. Question mark question mark question mark. Since when are sea shanties back? Anyone care to explain? Am I missing something? Depending on where you live, they never went away. The Canadian Maritimes, for example. As a West Coaster who went to New Brunswick for university, I was very surprised when at a Rocking Frosh welcome concert, the band suddenly switched to playing Bar It's Privateers and the whole crowd, except me and maybe a couple other ignorant folks, cheered wildly and sang along to every word. It was a pretty surreal experience. Oh, another tune or two won't do us any harm, and we'll all hang on behind. I've had Leave Her Johnny stuck in my head for a week now. Blow the Man Down. Folk musician here, it's awesome. People discovering their heritage is great, and people who don't share that heritage, but are loving it anyway is even better. Folk song and dance should be shared and enjoyed by all. I'm all for the dude's success, and I just did some cursory research on this fellow as I don't have TikTok, but he's like skyrocketing right now. Kind of a kick in the shorts for all the folk singers out there and such who do this for a living. No? It's nice. I've liked singing for most of my life. And ever since I played Black Flag in 2013. Shanties have been on the list of random genres I like to sing. Apparently they hit the spotlight on TikTok or something recently. And I'm assuming that's what you mean by comeback. But they weren't all that unpopular before either. As a Renaissance feg goth for over a decade, I never really noticed them not being a thing. XD. This may outlast the great swing revival of the 90s. So like one more week. Oh god, that was a dark time. Skirl nut zippers of course being the exception, lol. As a 90s teen who lived through the swing music resurgence, it'll fade fast. My husband just mentioned this to me a couple of days ago. I didn't know they were songs, never heard of them. So, I assumed he was referring to structures. Tiny houses. Like there is a new trend to abandon the suburban life and all your unnecessary possessions. Then just live in a tiny shack by the sea. Sounds nice? This is for long forgotten. Light at the end of the world. I've loved sea shanties and that general feel/style my whole life. And campfire songs like Land of the Silver Birch. Clearly not enough people played Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I feel like the year was 1778. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. A letter of marque come from the king to the scummiest vessel he'd ever seen. Goddamn, the Morley was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold, we'd fire no guns. Shed no tears, now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers.